Zoe here. So today I'm going to talk about all the books I've read recently. I'm going to talk about all the books that I don't own first, and then we'll talk about all the books that I do own. So yeah, the first book is Story of My Life by Lucy Score. I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars out of 5 bonus points because my name was in the book, although it was spelled wrong for my name personally. I enjoyed it. It was a bit funny. I did think it did drag on a bit too long for what it was, but I enjoyed it. It was just a fun read. The next book I read was Message Deleted by K.L. Slaughter. I gave it 4 stars out of 5. I enjoyed it. It's a lot different to the standard thriller books that I've read. It's nice to see something completely different where like there's a text and it's deleted the next day. And that was quite interesting. The next book I read was The Last Party by A.R. Tor. I found this one was close to being a 5-star read, but not for me in a sense. There were some bits in the story that I felt like were way too unrealistic. But it was interesting to see the kid's point of view in the sense like she wrote like a diary about what was going on leading up to the party where the killer, kills. So yeah, I highly recommend you read it though, because it's on Kindle Unlimited for free, or if you've just got Amazon Prime, you can read it with the Prime reads. So yeah, the next book is Seventh Heaven by James Patterson. This is book 7 in the Wife's Murder Club series. I believe there's like over 20 books in that series and I'm only on number 7. I really enjoyed this one. I liked the storyline a lot better. I felt like it was a quick read, but it was kind of just easier to understand. I feel like the other ones before, they weren't as gripping and interesting. But I have the 8th one on my Kindle, so hopefully I'll get to that soon and continue with that series. The next book I read was First Time Caller by B.K. Borison. I gave that 3 stars out of 5. I enjoyed the premise of it, for it to be like a radio host show vibe, and they're talking about the girl trying to date someone, but I just felt like it felt flat for me. Like the romance wasn't that good, and I don't know, I just felt it was easy to read, but there was just nothing really going on. It was just it's okay. The next book is Frida McFadden's latest book. It's not The Tenant that's just been released, but there is also a short story that's on Amazon at the moment. And I have 3 stars out of 5. It's Death Row is the name of the book, but I can't really rate it higher because it's a really short story and there's not much happening in a short story. But I enjoyed it. It was quick and easy to read. Do I think you will need to go and read it? No, like for people that don't own a Kindle, you don't need to go and buy a Kindle just for this book. But it's just a standard easy read. The next book is Something Like Fate by Amy Lee. I felt like this book dragged on way too long for what it was, and I just felt like it just made no sense half of the time. It was alright. The romance was okay. I give it like between 2.5 stars and 3 stars out of 5. It was just really long-winded. So yeah, now I'm going to talk about all the books that I own. The first one is The Night House by Jo Nesbo. I was hoping this would be a 5-star read because I really enjoyed like the first 150 pages of this book was really good, because it kind of reminds me of like a Stephen King book with them like descriptions with like the monster. I'm not going to say what it is because it kind of spoils it, but it kind of reminds me of that kind of vibe. Like it was really, really good, and I feel like the last part of the book just went downhill for me. But I still really enjoyed this, and I feel like I would want to read more of Jo Nesbo's books believe he's got like a detective series, so I would have to go from the beginning to read that, unless he has any other standalone novels. If you know any, let me know. The next book is Survivor Song by Paul Tremblay. Now this is another author that, if you've read Stephen King, you'll like this. I really enjoyed this. I gave it 4 stars out of 5. It's a lot different book that I'm used to reading when it comes to horror novels or thrillers, because this one is more about like a virus going on. But it was really interesting because it kind of involves zombies a little bit as well, which is quite cool. I've not actually read a book that involves zombies. I've seen loads of zombie movies and not read a book that involves zombies, so this is kind of really cool, and I kind of enjoyed the writing style, although it was a bit weird in like some parts of the book. There was blank pages and I was like, okay, and then I kind of realised it's probably supposed to like make it more tense, but didn't make it more tense for me. But I still enjoyed the book nonetheless, and if you've got any books by him that you recommend, let me know. I believe his most common popular book is A Head Full of Ghosts, and then the one that's a movie, Knock at the Cabin. I can't remember what that one's called, but yeah. Next book is my first 5-star read that I haven't had a 5-star read in like ages, and this is Firefly Lane by Christina Hanna. I believe this is a Netflix series. I've always wanted to read her books, but I've heard like they're always like really sad, and yeah. But this one, it's a little bit of a sad ending, but before that point everything else is kind of really interesting. It's kind of like about girlhood and 2 friends growing up together and continuing as life goes on, pretty much. But I really enjoyed this, and I believe there is a sequel to this, so I will definitely want to read it. But yeah, I just love the writing style. It kind of reminds me a bit of like Nora Roberts, but only there's no mystery involved. It's just more romance and other subplots going on. But I really enjoyed this, and if you've got any Christine Hanna books you recommend I read, let me know below, because I ain't got a Scooby-Dooby clue. Because yeah. And the next book is The Girl Before by J.P. Delaney. I've read Playing Nice, and I really enjoyed that book by this author, but this one I felt like it was a letdown. I gave it 3 stars out of 5. I felt like it was a letdown. It was a bit long-winded, and the twist didn't really get me. I kind of guessed what was going to happen in the end. It made sense with what was going on in the book without me giving any spoilers, but it was alright. I mean, I'll still read more of J.P. Delaney's books, but hopefully the next one I'll enjoy again. But I think this one's just more of a miss for me. So these are all the books I've read recently. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you guys very soon.